I'm here for a reason. God did it. My name is Audrey Brooks. I'm 88 years old. I was diagnosed with pancreas cancer because of a blood issue that nobody knew, and I just happened to see it, called my doctor, and they sent me to this fabulous place to see Dr. Bedford. He wanted to do the endoscopy. And he said, well, there's a possibility of what we might find, but we're not going to go there yet, he said. And the next day, they found, I guess when the results came back, I had pancreatic cancer. And then after that, he's the one that introduced me to Dr. Bilchik, who actually got the cancer out of my body. He had a 6-hour surgery. When I woke up, he and one of his assistants, they were standing at the foot of my bed. How many doctors do you know that would be standing by your bed when you wake up? You know, they talk to my kids, they talk to my grandkids, they talk to my pastor, they talk to the friends who came to the hospital who weren't supposed to be here, but they came anyway. You know, when I woke up, there were probably, I'm exaggerating, but I would say there was at least 40 or 50 people in my room. And they were like this, including Dr. Bilchik. And I said, why is everybody in this room? Well, only 2 people supposed to be here. Dr. Bilchik said, she's back. And everybody started laughing and clapping their hands. You know, and I'm looking at him like, what's going on here? But that man is a God's gift to anybody who is in his presence. Anybody who is sick and possibly dying, or you might be sick for the rest of your life, but because of him, you're still here. And that's where I am right now, that I am still here because of him. He walked through everything, what was going to happen to me. Could you imagine standing on your feet for 6 hours to try to fix what was wrong with my stomach, my pancreas? He had to move my tummy. He had to do all kinds of stuff to get to the pancreas, you know, and then he took it out. I've had CAT scans now. I've had all kinds of, and there's no cancer. Who ever heard of that? There's no cancer in my body. And because of Dr. Bilchik and his kindness and his amazing category to be a surgeon, to be a doctor, I could never, ever say anything that was good enough or strong enough to tell him how much I adore him. And I know that sounds crazy, you know, but I do adore him. When I see him, like I saw him walking across the courtyard, I wanted to start crying. But I have makeup on, I want to mess up my makeup. But you know, but how he talked to me is exactly how he talked to me in the room. How he talked to me was just the way he was speaking to me just before I went under. That was the same voice I heard when I woke up. The same person whose eyes were tearing when I woke up. How many people in this world are blessed enough to have that? Except that it was not my time. And because I was here at St. John's, the staff and the people here took care of me and brought me back, because I don't believe I should be here according to what happened. The next day, believe it or not, I had a cardiac arrest. Dr. Bilchik he could not believe it. And my daughter, she's an RN, and so she's seen this before, but not for her mother. She was tearful. They had to hold her up, you know. I mean, they worked, for what I understand, they worked and worked and worked and worked. I don't remember anything, but my daughter asked the doctors if she could take pictures. He said, yes, take as many pictures as you want. She's going to want to know this, but you can't show them to her for at least a year. And that's what Dr. Bilchik said. No, she cannot see those pictures. He said, but you need to have those pictures for her. So I decided that I wanted to see the pictures about 2 months ago. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't not believe what I saw. the people all around my bed, and they were doing whatever they were doing and brought me back. And I think they said I was out like 15 or 20 minutes. Whoever heard of that? You know, and they never stopped. It's really difficult. Even though I'm laughing and talking a bit, my heart is still breaking as to what happened to me. And I just need to tell people, whoever sees this video will realize pancreatic cancer is no joke. Cardiac arrest is no joke. But when you have a team that's here at St. John's, you have the best chance in the world to make it, to live. You know, you have to understand that some people believe in God, some people don't, and it's okay. I just happen to believe in God, and God put me in the path of these doctors here at St. John's. And the nurses, the CNAs, some of the CNAs wouldn't even wake me up. They would stand by my bed until I woke up. I mean, who does that? So I pray that anybody who's seeing this right now, and you find out you have pancreatic cancer or any kind of cancer, and you have nowhere to go, think about St. John's and think about Dr. Bilchik before you make any decisions. That's what I did, and that's what saved my life. Dr. Broukhim, the one who put 5 stents in my arteries because I had blocked arteries that nobody knew about. And Dr. Bilchik still cannot believe that wasn't in my report. Not his report, but the other report. And I don't call names. So I'm just saying that you need to make sure that you do what you're supposed to do, and your family does what they're supposed to do, and you have the right doctor. And trust me, this Dr. Bilchik is number 1 in my heart that's still beating. I did not think that I was going to live. Everybody that I know basically has died. My friends of cancer, my brother died of cancer. So I had really given up before I had the surgery. But because of the divine guidance that I received here at St. John's and with Dr. Bilchik and his staff, I wish I could remember all their names. You know, the nurses, I wish I could, I have them written down somewhere, you know, but I would like to walk up and hug them. I'm here because of them. I gave up, but they didn't. They did not give up. I gave up. Thank God. Thank St. John's. Thank Dr. Bilchik. Thank Dr. Bedford. Thank Dr. Broukhim. I wish I could remember all the nurses who stood by my bed, who changed me. I've never had anybody touch my body like that. I could go to the bathroom by myself. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything for myself. They did everything for me. Combed my hair, brushed my teeth, wiped me clean from head to toe. Going to the bathroom, didn't have to get up because I couldn't. They took care of all that. At first I was embarrassed. The next day I was fine. Yeah, I need to go to the bathroom. Yep. They treated me like I mattered. They treated me like I mattered. They didn't care who I was, except the person they were taking care of. Finally, after I was able to get out of bed, they would walk me down the hall, and I would have to hug each person, each CNA, each RN, each person at the desk. They would get up and they would follow me around because I could barely walk. They had the big, the big thing on me, holding me and everything like that. I couldn't walk. To share this story with anybody who is sick or not sick or knows someone that's sick, that is worried about somebody who's sick and they don't know what to do. This is the place they need to be. They need to be here at St. John's. This is who they need to see. If you have cancer, you think you have cancer, there's nowhere else in the world I should have been. Everybody was praying for me. They even let my pastor come in before they let anybody see me. She was the first person outside of my daughter, my real close family, to see me when I woke up. They allowed her to come in. And of course I started crying, and she came in, took my hand, started praying for me. And then the chaplain who was here, they were holding hands. How many people do that? I was held by every person on this staff here at St. John's. I'm doing really well. And when I walked out into the garden, it brought back the day that my daughter and my kids came to get me to take me home, and the person with the wheelchair brought me down. What if I wasn't here to see the garden? What if I missed that? What if I missed the young person that brought me down? He pushed me in an elevator, took my legs. When I got in the car, held me till I could sit. Don't tell my family, no, I got this. Held me so I wouldn't fall, turned me around. Because, some people they want to get in the car their way. Well, you don't get in the car when you have my condition. So he stood there, held me, turned my body, pushed me in the seat, and then took my legs and put my legs in. And hugged me. He hugged me. I just wish with all of my heart that I could remember the names of the nurses and the CNAs who came to my room 2, 3, 4, 5 times, 6 times a day, that teach you how to walk, to make sure you're breathing properly. If you had seen me chained to this, it was unbelievable. And when I came in, I was pretty heavy. Thank God I'm at the weight I should be now. And that was probably another reason that I had all the heart attack and all the things, because I was overweight. Dr. Bilchik knew that. But there was nothing to show that I had a problem. So that's why he did the surgery. And he should have done the surgery. What if he hadn't done the surgery? I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. My prayers for anybody who sees this, think twice, take 5 twices before you make a decision on who to use for your illness. The valet, the guards, the receptionist when you walk in, and you're just sitting in there, in the lobby, and people just say hi to you. They have no idea who you are. They say, hi, how are you today? Oh, you look so pretty today. How are you doing? How many people do that? And my kids said that there was about maybe 35 or 40 of them down in the cafeteria. Music was playing. The food was delicious. The doctors came down to the cafeteria and talked to them. So there's so many things I'm grateful for. I can't even think of everything. I could go on and on and on and on and on about the things about this place and these doctors and these nurses. And the day I went home, you should have seen the line in the hallway. They were lined up to say goodbye, and how happy they were that I was able to walk and get in the wheelchair and go home. I'll never forget that as long as I live. I just want to thank St. John's and every staff member that was involved in my recovery. May the peace of God hold every single one of them close. And my deepest gratitude and my deepest gratefulness, Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here either.